All right, so here is the mini lesson on inequalities. So just kind of like what that means. So if something is unequal, we have a couple different symbols that we can use to represent these. Okay, the first two are going to be over here. The one that looks like an L is going to be our less than. The one that is facing the opposite way is our greater than. Then anytime we add that bar underneath, it is just kind of adding on to it. So we are going to say something is less than or equal to. So meaning I could have a number that is either less than whatever is on the right or the left. Actually, I guess that would be on the left. Or something that is exactly the same. So same thing happens here with our last one. We'll have greater than or equal to. Okay, so let me just zoom those up there. So here are some random variations of things that we could be seeing and covering. We could do some comparisons, right? Where they give us a number like 6 is greater than 9. Is that true? No. So you could say that that would be false. We could also say that 7 is less than or equal to 7. Okay, well, knowing that that symbol means less than or equal to is really, really big here, because then we're actually able to say that that is true. Okay. The next thing that we could do with these, besides like our statements, and again, it's really, really important to know the symbols and the names that go with them, because like the first one, 6 is greater than 9. When I say that out loud, like I'm not just looking at it when I'm doing these, I'm saying it verbally. It doesn't even sound right. So then I would know that it's false. Okay, but another way that we can compare these terms or these things together is by using variables. So let me use this as an example. So what that says, what I just wrote in purple, is x is greater than 8. Well, give me some values that satisfy that. Well, 10, x could be 10. X could be 18. X could be 8.0001. X could be infinity, right? Anything that's bigger than 8. But if I have something that's a little bit more exclusive, I could say x is less than or equal to 4, right? That or equals to allows me to be able to say, well, x could be 4. X could also be 3. X could be 2. X could be 1. All the way down to like negative infinity. Okay. With either of these, actually specifically the stuff that I have on the right-hand side, we can also make number lines for things like this. So I'm going to use both of those examples that I have. I'll actually start with x is less than or equal to 4. So if I have a number line here, typically when you're given a number line, they already give you a ton of dash marks. Find one that is in the center and just give it the number 4. And then on either side, just like a standard number line, give me your 5 on the left-hand side, or nope, other way around, backwards. My 3 is right here, my 5 is right here. So like a typical counting number line, okay? Anytime that we have, let me actually come back up to these symbols real quick. And we're talking number line here. Anytime it is a less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, we use a filled in or solid dot, because that number, so like my example that I'm working with right now with 4, is actually a number that fulfills what I'm trying to look for. So that solid dot means, hey, 4 is actually going to be one of my options. If I have just the less than or greater than symbols, they're going to be open circles, because for my purple example, how x has to be greater than 8, I'm going to still put my dot on 8, but it's not going to be filled in, because 8, if I were to plug 8 in right there, it would not make sense, because 8 is not greater than 8. It is exactly the same. So coming back down here to my number line, okay, when x is less than or equal to 4, I'm going to give a solid dot on number 4. Now, what I kind of have here with my x's that it could potentially be, well, I've got 3, 2, 1, blah, 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 all the way down to negative infinity, which means that this whole section of my graph fulfills that criteria. So that is what a number line would look like for an inequality. Now, same thing. Let's do this guy so you can kind of see the difference here. So here is my other number line. Here's an 8. Give yourself a 9. Give yourself a 7. Okay, now 8 gets an open circle because 8 is not actually one of the values that works. And again, it can be as big as you want, as small as you want. I just have to be able to see it. Now look at some of the other values that I listed off. Okay, I've got 10, 18, 8.000001, and infinity. Well, 10 would be like right here. 18 would probably be down here. So that kind of tells me that my line for my graph would have to go that way. Okay. All right, so here, that's just a mini lesson on like some basics, quick concept refreshers. If you have any questions on either things where it's using letters, kind of like the stuff that's on the right-hand side over here, or stuff that's just numbers like what I'm boxing, make sure you let me know. But you will have a tiny lesson or a tiny homework on this lesson, so make sure that you complete that.